Hello everyone, and I'm here to review episode 3 of Mob Psycho 100 season 2. I'll touch briefly on episode 2. I didn't have time to review it. I did watch it, however. Before I get into that though, quick shout out to The Promised Neverland. I started watching that anime as well. I think there's only 2 episodes out as of recording of this video, and it's pretty good. It's pretty amazing. Has this creepy atmosphere. You feel like something's going on, and you don't know what it is until the very end of the episode, and it exceeded my expectations, at least. So with episode 2 of Mob Psycho, that one, it felt a little bit like filler, but yet it had some good moments in it. I feel like this season is way creepier than season 1. Like, season 1, the ghosts were more funny looking. I remember the first ghost that we saw in season 1 was like some guy with an afro. And then there was the kid that was like spying on girls in the locker rooms and stuff, and it was just like weird. This season though, the ghosts are actually freaking scary. I don't know if like they have like some kind of horror director or something now, but there's some freaking creepy scenery and like images in this season. So we start off with this random guy that's like wanting Reigen to curse someone for him, and Reigen doesn't want to do it. But this guy is really annoying, really creepy guy too. Like you feel like something's really off about him. Reigen accepts and does like a fake curse, and the guy is like, "Oh, if this is not for real, I'm gonna get a real curse on you." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." I think this whole episode, Reigen was like the most nonchalant person out of that, like, ever. Usually he's very energetic and very crazy. He seemed really tired in this episode. Like, his eyes were just like this, and he's just like, yeah, and just didn't give a crap. He didn't do anything. The guy leaves, and then Mob asks, like, why would you want to curse somebody or something? And then Reigen's like, well, everyone's got somebody they want to curse or something like that. And he asks Mob, like, is there anybody you want to curse? And Mob was thinking so hard about it that Reigen was actually scared. Like, oh my god, is there somebody he wants to curse? But no, it's just Mob couldn't think of anybody because he's so pure. This kid is like the most pure kid ever, and he doesn't want to curse anybody, so he is just good. He's just a good person. So we go to another job of a woman who's being haunted by a ghost, like appearing at her window. So they go to her house, and there's nothing around, and then all of a sudden the house starts shaking, and you see, like, a person standing by her window, just like she said. Mob goes to use his powers, and it's not a ghost, it's not a phantom. It's actually a living person, and I'm like, wait, what? And it disappears, and then it goes into the next room, like the next house over, and it was looking through the wall in the most freaking creepy way. I'm saying the images in this season are freaking creepy as hell. I was like, what the frick is going on? But in the end, it was just some random creepy guy that was like able to project himself out of body to like spy on this girl. He was like so in love with her. And once she saw who he was and how like non-creepy it was, she's just like, ew. And just like broke this guy's heart, sent him to jail. They called the police on this guy. And that was it. That was that job. It was a lot of these episodes have a lot of just random jobs that Mob is going on, pretty much. So we hop to another job with these, like, college students or something. You can tell they're a bunch of losers. It's funny, the dialogue that they use like, with these characters is hilarious. Like, they act like actual college kids, like, druggy losers. They're like, oh yeah, let's go, man, it's gonna be so fun. It's like, this is just dumb. They want to take a photo at a creepy place, and they want Reigen to like maybe help summon a ghost or something. But you know he can't, and they're not for that. But he goes anyways. So they go to this place, and they're gonna go take the photo, and it's just it's a really creepy looking house. You can tell something's off. They take the photo. They leave without paying Reigen, and then they gotta go and catch a taxi on their own because the college kids took off because they didn't want to pay, and so they left them, Mob and Reigen, there to just find a taxi. It's like, these poor guys can't get a break. But I noticed, like, the whole freaking episode, Reigen doesn't give a crap. Like, he's not getting paid. He's doing all of this work for nothing. and he doesn't show like any emotion that he gives a crap about it. So this was probably the weirdest part of the episode. And just like the second episode that had to do with like this some kind of demon. They were doing random jobs and there was a demon that came up, and there's a pedophile that was showing his naked body to little kids at parks. Like, what the hell kind of season is this? It was weird. I've seen enough butts in this episode to last a lifetime. I don't want to see any more anime butts, please. But that's where this episode gets weird, is because you see these two bullies come up to Mob, and they want his money, and he doesn't have any money. So then Dimple possesses this guy. It's hilarious how he does it, because I didn't know what the hell was going on. Because the guy is just like, and he just starts shaking for no reason. He gets butt naked. He just takes off his pants, and he takes off his shirt, and he starts prancing around like a little fairy. He's like, I'm an angel! And then Dimple gets out of him, and he's back to normal. And he acts like nothing happened. He's just like, oh, that was weird. Oh, let me put my clothes back on. Like, what? But yeah, you get to see his butt and everything, and I've seen too many butts this season. Like, we saw the pedophile last episode, his butt. We see this guy's butt. Like, can we not have any more naked characters in this season, please? I feel like the author is just, like, having fun with naked people in this season. And butt chins. What's with butt chins? Because I know he's the author of One Punch Man, and the kid had a butt chin as well, and now they have this guy that has a butt chin. And not like a butt chin, but like literally it's a butt off his chin. Too many butts in this season. Luckily, Ritsu comes along, Mob's brother, and chokes this guy with his own necktie. He just comes up and starts choking him to death. And then the people who are training Mob to become stronger, the fitness club or whatever, they come up and they're helping Mob. It's kind of funny how like everybody Mob has ever met and people who have befriended Mob have come to help him, and it's kind of heartwarming because you get to see how much people care about Mob and they know he's a good person. So it's nice that he has people covering him, because you know Mob is not going to use his powers to hurt people. That's not what he wants to do. The interesting thing is, they tell Mob that he needs to protect himself, that he needs to fight back. And that's the interesting part of this episode, because we see a lot of instances where he should fight back, but he doesn't. He doesn't want to hurt people, so he just gets bullied. He lets himself get bullied and pushed around. And I feel like it's going to come back to bite him, because I feel like he's going to have to fight back. And I can feel that something like that is going to happen later this season. Especially if the main villain gets involved, he's going to have to fight the main villain, and he's very reluctant to fight humans, to fight live people. Not only live people, but people he deems are good, because that's the later part of this episode, is that he finds phantoms that are not evil, and he doesn't want to hurt them. So the teens return with the photograph, and they're freaked out. There's a ghost in the photograph with them, and they want to go back to the place and have them exorcise the ghosts that are living in the house. So Reigen reluctantly goes again, but it's like he doesn't care, like he's bored or something, so he just goes along with it. So we go to that creepy place again, and we see that there's a family there, and they're creepy as hell. They drew them with just these blank faces and black silhouettes, and it's the creepiest freaking thing. I'm saying this season they upped the creepiness level to max. However, this family is peaceful, and the father of this family says that he doesn't want to be exorcised. He wants to stay there with his family until they're ready to move on to the afterlife. But the teens that are there want Mob to exorcise them. So Mob's caught in between of like, do I listen to the customer, or do I protect this family? Like, I leave him alone. Even Reigen is pushing him, like, customers first, like what they want comes first, so you have to do it. And Dimple's urging him on. It just turns into a big mess for Mob, because he really doesn't want to do this. And you can see he doesn't want to do this with how badly he's getting pressured. You can see it on his face, and he's trembling. He doesn't want to hurt these ghosts, because he sees that there's no evil intent behind them. So, to see if there is any evil intent behind them, Dimple goes up behind the father ghost and, like, tries to persuade him to kill the teenagers. Like, if you kill these college kids, then there's no reason to exorcise you anymore. So then you can be in peace. And he does transform into like this freaking scary ass monster. Like his face stretches and it's like this, like, I don't know. It is weird as hell. I'll post a photo or something. But it gets scary for a little second. But then he calms down and he's like, no, I would rather be exorcised and die than kill these people in front of my family because they don't want to kill. So they're genuinely good spirits. They're not evil at all. Even though he had a little moment that was like, oh my god, they don't want to kill anybody. In the end, Reigen just says, you know, I'm not going to force you, Mob. If you don't want to do this, we don't have to do this. We'll just go home. And it's actually nice of Reigen to do that because he can see that Mob's in distress. And I like that about Reigen, that he, even though he scams people and he just bosses Mob around, he does care about Mob. He does show that he's thoughtful about what Mob feels and thinks, and I'm happy about that. So in the end, the teens get angry, and Reigen throws a bunch of salt on them and says, it's done. Exercise is done. You guys go home. That was it, pretty much. I mean, the family got left alone. They're happy living there in that creepy old house. And they looked nice after that. They weren't freaking creepy anymore. Why couldn't they have looked like that the whole time? That would have made everything better if they actually looked normal and not, like, scary as hell. But it was nice that, like, nobody had to die. And it was interesting for Mob's character because it made him think that maybe not all spirits are bad. He's been only killing spirits, but he's starting to think, like, maybe I should be thinking otherwise, like, if they deserve to be exorcised or not. So, Reigen is back in his place, talking to Dimple, and he has a curse on his back. So I guess the guy in the beginning of the episode cursed him? I thought it was going to be a big deal. Maybe it's going to be a big deal later, because he just has Dimple just suck it out of him, like some juice out of his back, and it's gone. The curse is gone. It's like, that was it? That was the end of the curse? I feel like there has to be more, because there was something really creepy about that guy in the beginning of the episode that I can't imagine they would just do away with that whole thing just like that. I don't know, I feel weird about that. Like, I feel like it has to come back somehow. Like, maybe he didn't get rid of all the curse and that something really bad's gonna happen, but I don't know. It's really weird that they just had that randomly in there. So in the end, Mob's just thinking about his perception, I guess, about good and evil. Not good and evil, but like hurting people who deserve to be hurt, cursing people who he thinks need to be cursed. He doesn't know what to think. Like, if he ever he's like, should I want to attack people? Should I use my powers for good and never evil? What would happen if I use my powers for evil? It's really interesting. He's thinking a lot of deep thoughts. This poor kid has all these thoughts in his head. And I feel like he's all alone. Like, nobody, like, Reigen kind of knows he's thinking about stuff, but he doesn't really ask him about it later. He just kind of lets it go. And I feel like people need to talk to Mob and see how he really feels, because he never expresses how he feels. He just kind of lets things go. So it's interesting. I'm wondering what's going to happen next. Hopefully we start getting into, like, the main villains and stuff, because I feel like these last 2 episodes have been not filler, because it is important character development for Mob. And it's fun episodes. They're really fun episodes. Like, I would give this episode an 80% as well, like episode 1, because it has really good moments for the character. It's just a lot of the parts feel like they're not necessary, unless this is all building up to something even greater, and this is just build up into that point. But until then, I'm just like, this was just another adventure episode. Season 1 had, like, a story kind of driving forward a little bit, whereas this season so far, the 3 episodes kind of just like, it's just like random stuff that happens in his life as he's living it. So we'll see what happens with episode 4. Let me know what you guys think of the episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Was there any of your favorite parts in this episode? For me, my favorite part was the guy getting stripped down naked, because it was just it was just so unexpectedly hilarious. Like, I didn't know what the hell was going on with it. I thought Mob literally took control of this guy and was, like, messing with him. Like, oh my god, Mob. But no, it was Dimple. So that was probably my favorite. I laughed so much at that part. But let me know what you guys think. Check out my gaming playthroughs. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Walking Dead as well. So check those out. and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. So have yourselves a great one.